Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. I'm just going to go ahead and apologize now for my over excitement. When I tell you this goddamn empire, we get ready to go on a hell of a ride. Listen here. This is season 1, episode 1. This was the pilot episode. I love this fucking show. It's right on up there with me with How to Get Away with Murder. Oh my God. We got Taraji P. Henson, Terrence Howard, Malik Yoba. Quit playing. Quit playing. Now that's the three elite people. Stop playing. Anyway, so, okay. It's all this whole situation about this company called Empire Entertainment. And it's a music company. It's a label, basically. Lucius Lyons is Terrence Howard's character. Cookie Lyons is Taraji P. Henson's character, which is his ex-wife. Okay? She's been in jail for 17 years. Okay? The company was built on drug money. Literally, $400,000 of her drug money started the company. He was actually an artist, but he has the business mind as well. And he was a drug dealer as well, but she took the big risks, okay? And she's musically talented as well. Well, shit happened. Shit went left. She got busted. Put her down for 17 years. When she first was sentenced, she was sentenced with 30 years, but she got out early on good behavior. She has 3 sons. Hakeem, he's a rapper. Jamal, he's more of an R&B singer. R&B, hip-hop singer. And he's very reminiscent of Usher. He even sounds kind of like Usher. And he's gay. Andre is their child that went Ivy League. He is the brains. He has no musical talent. Let's see, what else? Vernon, which is played by Malik Yoba, is actually his Lucius's right-hand man. And then he actually has a flunky that's named Bonky. He basically is like the car driver. He's a flunky. But they were friends since they're like 14 years old. Let's see, who else do we have? Becky, which is Gabourey Sidibe. She is actually the assistant to Lucius Lyons, and she's also a friend of Jamal's. Okay, Jamal has a little boyfriend too, little Michael. I think he's Hispanic. She called him Mexican at some point, but he looks more Hispanic. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Anika is actually Lucius's lady. And basically, she's the one who's actually heading up A&R. Okay, so let's get started, okay? Oh, and the program itself is done by Danny Strong, written by Danny Strong, and Lee Daniels is actually directing it. There's a whole lot with me and the Lee Daniels experience. I fucking love Lee Daniels, and I'll actually explain it to you guys one day, but everything about me and Lee Daniels and that kind of thing. But my first set of books, my first 3 books are part of a series, and like literally from the time before, when this book was actually in an outline form, I knew that Lee Daniels was the only person that could actually bring my book to life, and I have been diligently trying to get this book in his hand. But whatever, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. Let's move on. Let's get this done. Okay, so we get started. They're in the studio. There's a girl, cute girl, bald, and she's in there singing her face off. Really good songstress. She's in there singing, and she's just not giving Lucius exactly what he wants. So he rolls in there into the booth on her and tells her, you know, he's leading her to dig into some emotions. So he literally goes as far as to tell her, do you remember when your brother was shot and killed? And remember when you had to go and identify the body? I want you to go back to how you felt in that space. And I was like, damn, he's a bastard. You know what I mean? But as soon as he came up out of the booth, girlfriend laid down a vocal that you didn't want no parts of. You wanted no parts of the vocal she laid. Like I said, Lucius is basically a genius, and he knows exactly what he's doing. The funny part about it is Jamal, which is the gay son, is actually exactly like Lucius, but he's not so treacherous. That's the only thing. He's not treacherous. And I'm sure that's probably going to evolve because most times the treacherous part of the gay child is there, and they'll tap into it. They'll learn to tap into it. I know from personal experience. I wasn't always who I am today. I used to be a little docile, but we learned to tap into that piece when we need to. So I'll be looking out for that. And Lee Daniels knows that. So again, he's the man. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, so Empire Entertainment has basically just become a publicly traded company. Okay, so we look up. Cookie is out of jail. They're letting her out. She gets out. You see her in her little scrubs or whatever that is. She comes out. They put her out in the clothes that she had when she went in. This bitch rolls out of the jail with this white fur coat, leopard print dress, fitting everywhere, hair snatched and long ponytail, and these gold pumps. Okay, so a little outdated look, but clean nonetheless. Okay. So, she shows up at Jamal's house. And this is the thing, too. Only Jamal has a track record of actually visiting Cookie. The other two sons didn't visit, and Lucius doesn't visit. Lucius doesn't fuck with Cookie, really. He divorced her while they were in jail. He's shady. He's a shady bastard. He really is. And I can tell y'all now, Cookie, by far, is my favorite character out of this movie, this whole show, from the door, because she is a stone cold bitch. And every time she hits the screen, Taraji delivers. I said, girl, Miss Cookie, come on through, Miss Cookie. She's a mess. So we see her getting out. She sits there. She said, Cookie's coming home, honey. We cut to commercial, come back. Cookie's outside ringing the phone. And, at Jamal's apartment. Jamal ain't told her that the boy lived there. He got the boyfriend that's living there and everything like that. But she knows that he's gay. So we know that because literally back when he was a little boy, she actually told him when she was in jail, he visited her one time, you know, you're different and you're special, and just know life is going to be hard for you at times, but mommy got you. I got you. I said, okay. You know, I fell in love with Cookie right then. And I was like, all right. And that's how she ride. Father, not so much. Anyway, he comes in. She going to say, she's real ghetto with it too. She got out the cab's parked. She going to say, she rang the phone. She'll say, let me in. Open the door. So he's looking out the window like, what the hell? I didn't know she's coming home. She's coming, she going to say, and I hope y'all got an elevator up in here because my feet hurt. You know, she's very much that way. So I'm like, oh my God. So she comes in, and she don't give a shit what she says. She walked in. They were trying to pick things up because the apartment was really a mess. It's like a studio apartment. She come up in there. She looked around. She gonna say, oh, honey, for a queen, you sure got a messy palace. That's what she just says any motherfucking thing. Okay? She meets Michael. She gonna say, oh, you got your cute little Mexican. I saw Miss Cookie, cut it out, girl. Then they do this flashback. That's when you found out, that's when they did the jail visit and all that. She told me she had him and all that. Okay, so skipping forward to that. Okay. She goes, Jamal gets her new clothes and stuff. She gets her hooked up. She, had to update that look, and the bitch was clean with a slacks and a top and a trench coat. She got her a full head weave. Which later she had the nerve to say that girls with weaves, they be walking around with their heads smelling like goat ass. I can't take Miss Cookie. Anyway, she went down to the company to see Lucius, told him, I came to get what's mine. And he's giving her very much of, girl, what are you talking about? This, that, and the other. And that's what she told him. You know what? $400,000 of my money started this company. I want my half of this company. He told her, they had that back and forth. She told him, you forgot about me the second that you divorced me when I was in there. This, that, thing, that other. She sees the picture of Anika, turned it on his face, and was like, whatever. You know what? What I want is $5 million a year, and I want to be the head of A&R. He was like, no, I can't do that. I could get you maybe $3 million, but no, I'll hook you up. I'm not. She's like, don't play with me, Lucius. I ain't that bitch you want to play with. Don't play with me. And she said, I told you what I want. Now you go work on it. As she's getting ready to leave, again, like I said, she says whatever she wants. She runs into Anika. And Anika don't know really who she is. Because Gabourey was actually trying to stop her from getting in office. She was like, girl, get out of my way and go on somewhere. So she's so unbothered by everybody. I love it. But she looks at Anika and says, oh, boo-boo kitty. And walks on out the door. I'm like, Taraji, yes, come on through. She's a mess. That damn cookie. I said, okay. So then we see Hakeem gets a visit from Cookie. He's getting his hair cut. And he's a very arrogant, big-lipped little bastard, okay? And the funny part, the casting, when I say that they had perfect casting, these three kids literally do look like they could be Taraji and Terrence Howard's children. They really do. They look like a perfect mix of the two of them. But anyway, Hakeem, he's sitting there getting his hair cut, and she's standing there, and he side-eyed her and shit. So she told she stood there for a minute, played the game when she told the barber, get out of here. Just get out. Go on somewhere. And he looking at her, but he knew, okay. He put the shit down, he rolled. She's standing there. She said, I'm not going to compete with all that sound. Because he had the music up real loud. She said, turn it off. I said, turn it off. He turns it off, and he going to look at her and say, yeah, now what you want? Oh, he's a mess. Just a damn mess. So, she said, I understand that you're upset, and why didn't you return any letters? You didn't answer any of my calls. I understand you're upset. This, that, thing, and the other. And he going to say, he kind of like just blew her off. And she's like, you know what? Everything that I did that got me in trouble, I did for you and your brothers. That motherfucker turned around and looked her in her face and said, yeah, okay, you want a medal, bitch? Wrong answer. Baby, he had this broom and he was sweeping the little hair up off the floor. When he said that and called Miss Cookie a bitch, honey, her eyebrows went up in the air, baby. She grabbed that broom. And baby, when I tell you, she whooped his motherfucking ass with that broom. And you hear the bitch screaming, what I want is some motherfucking respect. Clack, 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 clack. She beat the shit out of his smart big lip ass with that motherfucking broom. She tore his ass out the frame. I screamed. Scream, scream, scream. The next time you see Hakeem, he's going to see Lucius at this new club they got. Baby, he got bumps, bruises, marks, and a black eye, baby. And I said, yes, Cookie! And she fucked his ass up. And Lucius looked at him and said, oh, so I see you've met your mom. Okay? She had beat his ass. He got to talking to him, getting in his ear. Okay, because this is the other thing. In the midst of all this, the three sons are actually being placed against each other, competing for this CEO spot of this company. Nobody knows except for the doctor and Lucius. He has ALS and he only got a little under 3 years to live. So he has them, he's trying to set it up for them to really battle for the company. But all along, he really knows the one that he wants to give the company to is Hakeem. And actually, the best one for the company is actually Jamal. But Jamal doesn't want national fame. Jamal is cool being like an artist that does small venues and just, he wants to be gay and sit and chill and all that. But anyway, so the whole plan, he's turning them all on each other. Okay? So he was fussing at Hakeem because Hakeem, again, is the rapper. So he's very arrogant, very ridiculous. And he basically told him, you are wasting your talents on bitches and booze. And that whole thing. So next, you had actually see that Lucius had put Bonky on the trail for Cookie because Bonky missed the whole point that Cookie was out. And he had actually asked Lucius to let him $25,000. He's like, no, you're not gambling shit and all that. You fuck up money and I ain't got it to do. So Bonky's like, okay, he in the midst of trailing Cookie. He's so far off. And Cookie that rolled up on him and got the fuck in the car. And said, he got you trailing me, don't he? And he told her, what was going on. He's like, I feel like he threw me away. Like, we used to be best friends. Now, he don't even fuck with me. He treats me like I'm the butler or the driver or something. And that's exactly what he does. He's sitting there. She gonna say, well, get yourself together. Get that shit all off your face. He's sitting there eating a sandwich. The fat bastard was half asleep in the car. Mayonnaise and shit on. He's a fat fucking mess is what he is. And she let him know it. So she told him, give me that damn sandwich. Because that's what he said. She said, well, you seen me. So what you gonna tell him that I was doing? He said, I'm gonna tell him I ain't see you. She gonna say, my dude. She dapped him up. Told him, give me that damn sandwich. She took the sandwich and they gonna tell him, he gonna say, I can't even finish the sandwich. She gonna say, hop on a motherfucking treadmill. She's like painfully honest. So she rolls on out. Bonky's really feeling some kind of way though. Like you can see it in his performance. He's feeling some kind of way about the way Lucius has been actually treating him. And I think he kind of backed himself into a corner, like the gambling debt is kind of deep. Then we go into another flashback. And this is about Jamal. They were having this little party. And that goddamn Jamal is little at this time. He had to be about maybe 5 or 6. Baby, he done put on his mother's pumps. And put a scarf on his head, baby. And come down the steps just to switch it, honey. He come gliding on through, honey. And thought he was short, baby. Everybody was like, oh. Honey, Lucius jumped up from the table, snatched his little ass up, drug him outside. Okay? Outside. And I hope my soapboxers are out there because I can see with this program, these reviews, I'm going to be on my soapbox a whole lot of times. So I hope my soapboxers are out there hanging with me on this one. But anyway, he takes the baby outside. Taraji's had the other baby, which would have been Hakeem. He was just an infant. She gives him to Tasha Smith. Tasha Smith was at the party. And she's running behind this fool. He goes outside and takes this baby and puts him in the motherfucking garbage can. You know I was done, okay? So I'm like done with Terrence Howard at this point. I said, this high yellow motherfucker. He dumped his baby in the garbage can and put the motherfucking lid on it and said, he's rotten. Put him in the damn garbage can. I was done. Done. So she went, because when he grabbed you up, he gonna say, you gonna come down here looking like a little bitch. Horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But anyway, she runs out behind him. She grabbed, got the baby out the garbage can, put him, she grabbed her baby because he's screaming and crying the whole time. She literally, what I love about this bitch, she is so not afraid of Lucius. She don't give a fuck because she is that bitch, okay? She don't give a fuck. She bucked that motherfucker and got up in his face. He act like he was going to pop her. She said, I wish she would. And then you see her going back in the house with the baby. She gonna take and kick that motherfucker like Solange kicked Jay-Z's ass in that motherfucking elevator. I was like, yes, Miss Cookie! I love that damn Cookie. She kicked that motherfucker. So she going back in the house. So I'm like, okay, so now I can see some of the rockiness with them two. There was a whole exchange with Jamal and Lucius. He's telling him his sexuality is a choice and this, that, and the other. And, just very curt and basically telling him to fucking cut it out. And if you don't, you ain't never going to be nothing. You can't be nothing. He's like, I know, because gay people can't, what do you say? Fags can't sell to, no, sissies can't sell to the black crowd, this, that, thing, and the other. He's like, I wish you stopped calling yourself that. He's like, that's what I am. So like, he don't let up off his gayness. He's fine with his shit, but his dad don't like the shit, and that's an issue. So anyway, Andre has a wife, and she's Caucasian, and she is a gutter bucket bitch who wants nothing more than for the family to break completely up so that her and Andre can go on off and have all the money. Now, the only issue with Andre is right there up underneath his dad doing the business part. But his dad don't see him for that because he's not an artist. He doesn't have that musical thing. So they can't really relate to him. He can't really relate to him and he's not his pick. Okay. But again, the wife is a little nasty bitch and we'll be watching her. We'll be keeping our eye on her because she is just as conniving and carrying on. But anyway, so, him and the wife then worked up a little thing about, if the brothers start going after each other, then there'll be one person left and that'll be you. a mess. A mess, a mess, a mess. So then Andre goes and sees Cookie. She basically feels very guilty. He didn't come to see her and shit. She feels guilty. And it's that, that's the worst thing in the world for parents. Here we go with the soapbox. Hell, I live it every day. There's an issue when a child holds something over a parent and the parent tries to make up for a debt. You can't, there's times when there's debts that no matter what you do, you're never going to pay that debt, okay? And I have that situation in my family where we have a person who really has some shit that she holds over my grandmother's head, and my grandmother bends over backwards trying to make it right, but it ain't never going to be right. Fuck it. It is what it is. But for whatever reason, my grandmother can't see it, and she just works the shit out of my grandmother. Everybody can fucking see it but my grandmother. It's ridiculous. It's horrible. And I just find that to be a terrible motherfucker that would do that. Because if someone has done something to you so bad that you can't fucking forgive them, the thing to do is to fucking leave them alone. You don't use them. You don't try to make them miserable. You fucking leave them alone. And if you do anything other than that, you're just a fucked up person. Okay, down off my soapbox, but I don't bump, bump, bam. I told y'all we're going to be up there a lot during this goddamn series. But anyway, okay, so he done convinced him that she needs to take Jamal and make Jamal into the star she made their dad into. Okay, so now, and that can go either way. That could blow up in his face, or it could really work to her and Jamal's benefit. The thing is, he thinks he's smarter than everybody, and he thinks he got Cookie in his back pocket, so he's going to be able to manipulate her. Okay, so that's going to be very interesting to see how this rolls and how this plays out. Next thing you see, baby, Cookie busts up into a board meeting. Hilarious. With a different fur coat. Cleaner than a motherfucker. She rolls up in there. Hello, good morning. Don't start this without your cookie. Come on through, Miss Cookie! She rolled through that motherfucker and told him, come on out of here, hang. They go and he says, we'll be right back. She said, yeah, have some cupcakes on us, the company, darling. Have some cupcakes. Vernon jumps up. He's like, oh, before she can even get back there to where Lucius is. And he's like, how Cookie? She gonna say, kiss my black ass, Vernon. Child, his face gave, crack, daddy. So he goes into the meeting with her. She goes in. So it's Vernon, Lucius, and her in the room. They're going on back and forth. She tells him, you worked on my stuff, this, that, and the other. He's still playing games. He's like, are you crazy? You lost your mind. You come storming in there. I told you I will hook you up. She said, listen, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. First of all, I want Jamal too. So just make that happen too, because I want Jamal too. He says, no, I'm not going to do that. You're crazy. She said, I want Jamal as well. He then told her that she can't have A&R because of Anika. But he ended up, him and Vernon doing back and forth. She said, listen, I'm going to tell you, if I expose that the company began with $400,000 of drug money that belonged to me, your application for IPO will be revoked immediately. And Vernon going to tell her, you know how stupid you sound. She said, he told her, shut up. Shut up. You don't know how stupid you sound. She going to say, you know what? Tell me to shut up again, bitch. Again, he was over there with his face cracked. I said, she's a mess. A mess. Shut his face down. She gonna say, so what's it gonna be, you two-faced bastard? And talking to Lucius, gonna say, are you gonna give me Jamal or what? He agreed. He said, go ahead, take him. So now he think he gonna hurt her, right? So she's like, okay, thank you very much. Baby, she got the marching on up out of there. He gonna wait till she get out the door and he gonna say, you know what? I never wanted him anyway. Now, as a mother, he thought he was really getting at her. That bitch turned around just as nice and looked at him and said, I know. And marched. I said, yes, Miss Cookie. She marched the fuck on up out of there. Lucius's face was just as crack. They can't fuck with her. He can't fuck with her. He cannot move her. She is a bitch. Do you hear me? I love her. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so the next thing you see her, she goes down, she sees Jamal do a little performance, and then she sits down with him and it tells him, you know, you need to be a national artist. These little venues, you have too much talent for this. And he's going, no, Mom, no. And she's like, okay. She said, go on over there with your friends. So she knows she got to come a different angle with him. And then when he walk away, she will say, stupid sissy. You know, I said, Lord have mercy, her in that mouth. So anyway, next thing, we see Bonky done rolled up in Lucius's house. It's like real late at night and pulls a gun on him and tell him, you know, I want what's bad. I asked you for $25,000 and you just going to do me any old kind of way. He's like, I want $3 million, or I'm going to tell about them 4 murders that you committed, them 4 drug dealers you killed. So I'm like, oh God, okay. So then we found out Vernon been trailing Bonky, because that's what Lucius had him do. He finding out the moves that Bonky's been making. Bonky's out one night, Lucius roll up on him, and they talking. He gonna say, oh, because he scared him. You know, he's like, oh yeah. So they're talking. He gonna say, you know, we've been friends since we were 14 years old. He said, there's not very many things that I let come in between a friendship. And Bonky's like, yeah, I know, but you know, I'm talking to you. You know, I'm serious, man. I don't like how you treat me, and I want some money. I want $3 million. And so he said, the only thing that I let come in between me and a friendship is a bullet, and he blew that motherfucker's head off. Boom. Nice, fresh little hole right here in his head. And I screamed. I said, that's just what you get, you fat rat bastard. Because you're so stupid. He was like real stupid. Now, this is your friend. He'd been your friend for all these years. You don't know this motherfucker's this goddamn treacherous? But, you know, that's the thing. People think they get close to you and think they're, you know, I don't know, like they're covered from your treachery. But no, he left that motherfucker laying in that water, baby, with a big fresh hole in his head. Blew that motherfucker's head off. I didn't feel bad for him at all because he was fat and stupid. Anyway, moving on. So Jamal ends up in the studio one day. He's in there because the father done got with him. So he actually wants to work with him because he's trying to make sure that Hakeem gets where he wants him to get. He goes in there, he's working with him. Hakeem just ain't performing. It just ain't working. He cuts Hakeem's ass out. Told him, you're useless. You're useless and you're a disappointment. He went to see his brother. He went to see Jamal. Jamal helped him out because, again, Jamal's the one with the ingenious brain musically. Helped him out. Bam, he said, show Dad this and you'll be fine. Sure enough, he goes back, plays it back for him. He's in there. Jamal's in there. They're all in the studio. He loved it. He goes in there, he's praising him, and he said, you know, he said, Jamal helped me with most of it, you know. He turned around, looked at Jamal and said, did he? Rolled his eyes at him. And I don't think at this point, he rolled his eyes at him and told him, no, you did this. You did this. This is the genius inside of you. You did this. Well, Jamal got pissed, because that's how fags do. He got mad as a motherfucking black-ass rattlesnake, okay? And he was like, all right, fine, I'm out. He left. He went to see motherfucking Cookie and told her, make it happen. Make it happen. But we'll do it on my terms. So they got a whole plan. He's going to come out and everything. So, I mean, it's just getting ready to be a mess. It's everything that they're planning on doing is the total opposite of what Lucius would do. Cookie goes to see Lucius again. And they're talking. And they're talking about Jamal. He basically will tell her, and the bitch was clean yet again, tells her, you really aren't ashamed of him? And she's like, no, I'm not. You know, she told that motherfucker, me and you is getting ready to go to war. And she told me, and I'm going to show you that a faggot really can run this company. Again, I'm sitting over there screaming Lee Daniels, oh God, and Cookie. Goddamn Cookie. Okay, anyway. So then, you know, the next thing we see, they're having this announcement. It's a big announcement about the company. They're welcoming Cookie because they signed off for the contracts, let her know she can't never go. It's in her contract. She can't, it's a silence protection. She can't go tell about the $400,000. And she got control of Jamal. So they told about Cookie becoming a part of Empire Entertainment. People looking around. And then he said, my sons, Hakeem and Jamal, are both releasing albums. And all this, baby, when I tell you the eye rolling got started, they was eye rolling down. And look, Hakeem was pissed because Hakeem know he can't fuck with Jamal. Okay? And Jamal's just kind of sitting there, You know, again, he's still kind of green. He's not as mean as them other two brothers. But, and you know, the other brother, he's up there, him and his wife, and they rolled their eye. Baby, it was all this side-eyeing going on. I love this program. Do you hear me? Love it. Love it, love it. And I'm going to go ahead on and I'm going to end here. I was going to go on and tell you the situation about the book and about my book and the whole thing with Lee Daniels, but I'm going to cut this video here and I'll actually do a separate video on that because it's at 30 minutes and I don't go this long usually. All right, guys. So you can thumbs up or thumbs down the video. You guys know how that works. I definitely will be reviewing this. I fucking love this. This and How to Get Away with Murder. I wouldn't miss. God damn it. You understand me? I love this. Okay? All right. So soapboxers and everybody else, thank y'all for watching the video, and I'll get back with y'all next week when we see what's going on, because the previews going forward of what's going to go on looks like it's going to be some good shit. All right, guys. 31 minutes. Later. Bye.